Welcome to another edition of Flea Market Fantasy, the world's second greatest Bronze Age era comic book podcast. Joining me as always is new Michael, Kevin Jank.
Nobody tosses a salad like you, Mike Dell.
That's right. I am known for tossing salads. So also, we have a very special guest here this evening, Kev. Why don't you introduce him?
Well, here he is, man about town. My cousin Peter Jank is joining us today.
Yeah, nobody tosses salad like you, Kev. You took it from me. I was gonna say
it.
Now,
Now we're gonna have to duel
phrase...
it out like Aaron Burr and Alexander.
What am I supposed to do with my cue cards now?
All right, this issue. Tell Kev. I'm sorry, I got to refer to you as Kev since Pete's here. Tell us what we're reading this evening.
So today we're reading The Flash number 231 from 1975.
and cousin Pete, you were the man who chose this issue?
I sure didn't.
Nope. I'll take the the credit / blame.
I thought this was a Pete choice.
No.
Oh, all right.
I wouldn't choose this. I wouldn't choose this for anyone.
Because I wouldn't choose this life.
This issue is some wild stuff.
It really was.
There are two stories.
Maybe one of the stupider things we've ever read in both stories.
There is a Flash story in which the phrase tossing salad is used.
Yep.
And then there is a backup Green Lantern story where Aaron Burr is featured as a great leader. And
with his mute butler, Ignatz.
He's mute,
yes, his android butler. All right, so but anyway, Pete, you're a big Flash guy. That's why I thought you picked this. But I guess Kev was just doing you a favor here with the Flash.
Yeah, I love the rogue gallery that the Flash has. I just find that they're the I hate to use the word generic, but they are like the most generic of all the. It's just like so simple, and yet that's why I love them. They're not complex.
No,
this one's held the
no, they're not.
What's he about?
Yes.
Well, he likes the spin.
What do you got? What do you got in your pockets? I got a comb. All right, you're the comb.
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
Very simple. I love that.
It is quite something. Yeah, there is a Rogues Gallery convention in this issue. But before we get to all the excitement of Flash, let's remind everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. What's the goal here, Jank? 500 subscribers?
500.
And Jank will make me read the Dark Knight Returns. And I checked before the show. I think we're up to 463.
Oh, so that's some jumps from last week. All right.
We're inching ever closer to me being miserable and having to read the Dark Knight Returns.
That's all the more reason to subscribe. Don't you want misery?
Hey, Pete, have you ever read the Dark Knight Returns?
No, I don't think I have actually.
Oh, look at that! Me and
Very
Pete.
Good.
I know I've seen the was it the short or it was like a cartoon
that movie,
short
the 2-part the 2-part movie with Peter Weller.
Yep.
Oh, RoboCop is in it.
Yeah, he's the voice of Batman.
Oh,
aren't we all?
Bad. So, all right. I also have a book out there called Monkey Flip about a chimp detective. You'll love it.
Yeah.
So,
if you could work Aaron Burr into the next one, I think you'll really see some sales tick up.
So yeah, the Flash. Pete, I believe you're supposed to come on the show once. We did a Flash issue with the Rainbow Raider. Do you like that guy?
Oh, I don't even know who that one is.
Oh, really? He's pretty great.
He wasn't even cool enough to make the Rogue.
Hey, Kev, do you remember Rainbow Raider's real name?
Oh, of course I do. Roy G. Bigelow.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
RGB, Roy G. Bigelow. It was amazing.
Good grief. I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah.
He looks like he looks like something.
He was born colorblind, and like his dad made him something so that he could see colors, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm going to use this to become a villain somehow." Okay, cool.
It's revenge on the rest of the world for being technicolored.
It was pretty great. But what other flashes have we done here, Kev? I think when Mike L was on the show, I think we did one with Flash and Gorilla Grodd.
Yep. Yeah, you guys
Um,
definitely did that one. I don't know if we've done any other actual just Flash solo issues.
because I
This
was
one's hardly one.
I was considering doing one with Captain Cold because what do you think of Captain Cold, cousin Pete? Do you like that guy?
Yeah, Captain Cold's great. I like Captain Cold.
Because I'll be honest, as an outside observer, he seems pretty stupid, but
Well,
You
I have
just hate good
no
things.
I think
experience.
he's
I have no
pretty
experience.
cool.
He's wearing a parka. What's better than that?
He's wearing a
Exactly.
parka. I also have last week on the show we did an issue of Thor, and I voiced some of the problems I had with Thor and like how I don't understand the concept. Basically, I can't get that he turns into guys and then he's not a guy and then sometimes he's a
Yeah.
guy. And then I have a similar problem with Flash because he is so fast. It would be
Yes.
impossible for anyone to defeat him. Like by the time they're like, "Oh, here comes the Flash," their heads exploded because he's run by and punched them in the mouth. Like he's too
Yeah.
fast. He's too
Especially in
Except
fast.
for
this
the one
issue,
rogue
boy.
stronghead.
I don't know who that
No,
guy is.
no, I'm just kidding. There's no strong
Because he
head.
can't punch him. Yeah, he'd break his hand when he punched him.
I wish there was a
But
guy named Fronthead.
calm down. Calm down. We already said toss salad like 7 times. But
YouTube doesn't know what that means.
but
It hasn't been to
yeah,
prison yet.
the Flash is just way too fast. He's too fast. There's
Yeah.
no way anyone could do anything to stop him. So it never
This
makes
issue
any
really
sense.
demonstrates that. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would try to do crime in Central City. Why aren't you going to like Coast City? Like you could take out Green Arrow. Pretty easy.
Yes. It's crazy, the Flash. Does that ever trip you up there, Pete, when you're enjoying your Flash comics? Do you ever just think, wow, this makes no sense because this guy's way too fast?
No, it
Way too
makes perfect sense. He's very fast.
fast. How does anyone even see him? Like how do they even like he's so
Yeah. How can
fast?
Captain Cold get a shot of his ice gun off before this guy's already punched him in
Yes.
the face 12 times?
Well, and that's why the rogue gallery is not very deep. They got to keep it simple because they don't have enough time to actually generate a really interesting story.
Yes, the this issue features some 5 rogues attending a Flash Rogues convention that they hold
I
every
did
year.
like that.
This
Yeah.
is amazing. Yeah. And the rogues in question, if I can remember who they were. Okay, we have the Pied Piper.
Oh yes.
That
Yeah.
guy,
He wears
his
pajamas.
yeah, his gimmick is he just plays a pipe and like it's musical and it like brainwashes people or something. I don't know. What is it? What does he do? Is that what he does? Plays like a flute?
Seems
Is that
like it, yeah.
Yeah, he basically just like disbobulates people with his like kind of just like puts them in a trance almost. Or that's the
yeah,
idea for the Pied Piper.
So it
pretty
seems like these
similar?
guys could kind of do what the dude in this comic ends up doing, like just make the
The
Flash start
dude,
hitting
yeah.
himself. You could do that for
And
real.
we also have the Weather Wizard. Now, Kev, I believe the Weather Wizard, wasn't he in that baseball game issue we did?
Yeah, I think he might have been.
I think he was playing like third base for the evil team or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, Pete,
You think he
we
would
did
have
an
like
issue.
brought in the rain and like, made called for
They called the game, yeah.
rain delay. Yeah.
Uh, Pete, we did an issue where a bunch of heroes like Superman, Batman, and Green Arrow, and everybody they played a team of supervillains in a game of baseball.
Oh,
It
I
was
need to
amazing.
I
It
need to
was
listen to that
delightful.
episode because that sounds great. It's just the
It
old
was great.
softball that annual softball game that everybody does.
No, there was
There
who
was
was it? The
actual stakes
Huntress?
on the line. Like, yeah, the
Yeah.
not the good huntress, but like a different huntress who was like she was trying to decide whether she was gonna be a hero or a villain, and she was like, "Well, whoever wins gets me."
That, that's what happened at last year's police and fire rescue softball game. Same thing. Same thing.
Who was the main guy, like her boyfriend in that issue? And he was like the game master or something like that, right? Or sports
Yeah, that's
master. What was the
Marvel,
name?
so I think it might have been Sportsmaster.
Something
The
like that. But
Sportsman, maybe? I don't know.
he's just really good at sports, this guy. That was his superpower. And
Casey Jones.
he was a
Yeah,
villain.
I wish.
All right, so we got Pied Piper, Weather Wizard, Mirror Master 1, the very first Mirror Master.
I love Mirror
Yeah.
Master.
Explain to the kids why Mirror Master is so great, Pete.
Oh, well, he's got the whole mirror world. I feel like he's probably the most overpowered of the rogues.
Mm-hmm.
I just,
Correct.
oh yeah, it's because he's got the whole mirror world. Oh, man, what's it called, Kev? I can't. It's been a while since I've read it, but he's got.
Uh,
It might just be called the mirror world, but I want to say it's got an actual
sounds about
name. But
right.
he can literally just trap anybody within a mirror, and there's nothing that they can do to get out. And I don't know how he got the power. I don't remember, but yeah, he's very very powerful. Oddly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't sound that impressive, but yeah, if you can trap
I
people in
assume he
mirrors.
mostly just hangs out like at Kohl's or something in the women's dressing room, pretending to be a mirror.
oh, well, that's one of his
He's
like
just a creep.
big benefits is like literally he can jump into the mirror world and then just transport himself into other places that would have mirrors. So again,
Pretty
he's
good.
just, he's very very like awkwardly powerful.
I remember Pete telling me one time about a story he read with Mirror Master where he was doing
My
cocaine
favorite.
off of a mirror. I was like,
Yeah,
yes,
he
this
was
guy's
really really
great.
down on himself. He was just having a bad day and he was doing literally a line of coke right off a mirror.
So they discover how the comics code,
Found
I
his
guess.
real power.
I think I have that comic. Oh, God. I know I have
Oh,
it. I don't know if I have it next to me. It might
that's
be in the
great.
other room. It's good though.
All right. Also, we have Heat Wave. He's
Yeah,
basically Captain
he was a
Cold,
big
but
one.
with like a heat gun instead of a cold gun, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally,
Simple.
we have the Top.
Oh, another favorite.
He's way
Ah,
more
yes.
intimidating than his sidekick, the Bottom. But the Top. Now, this guy, he just has toy tops. That's his weapons of choice, right?
Uh, yeah, kind
Seems
of.
to be.
Yeah.
Like I think he just spins tops and like things happen or something. I don't know. Does he have any? Does he have any other powers or gimmicks or anything?
Man, what is
Like, does he spin like Top Man in the Mega Man
he does
games?
spin, but he
Okay.
does mostly use tops. But I mean, the tops are like the penguin's umbrella almost. There's different types of
Yeah.
tops. So he's got like explosive ones and different ones that'll like do random other things. I don't know why tops. Again, the roads are just so basic. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he's just
Okay, I'm reading his powers and abilities. Apparently, his real name is Roscoe Dillon. That's a pretty cool name for a guy named the
Ooh.
Top.
Yeah.
great.
But apparently, he has telekinesis. The Top controls his spin through a form of telekinesis. As Dillon grows more confident, his speed increases. Same with me.
Yeah.
And his superhuman speed, the Top could spin himself at incredible speeds. According to the Flash, Roscoe's a master of all spinning motion during the
Hey
Okay.
tossing
now.
of salads.
Yeah.
He also has enhanced intellect. As a result of his spinning, his action increases his brain power. Wow.
Wow.
He's
So
got a lot
his
of depth to him.
his confidence increases his speed, then his speed increases his brain power.
Increases his brain power. That's crazy.
Wow.
As a result of his enhanced intelligence, Roscoe has devised a wide array of unusual weapons in the form of tops. So,
There we go.
He was just a big
Unusual indeed.
Beyblade collector.
Yeah.
like we have another nominee for Villain of the Year.
Yeah.
All right.
We have to
So
mention
that
Pete. He had a great line in was it
Yep.
Flashpoint?
Yep. Flashpoint.
what's
Flash, I
Flashpoint?
can see you're the bottom, but I'm the top.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
What is
That movie's
what is
great.
Flashpoint? Should I know what Flashpoint is? Is that a
Oh my
thing?
God! Yes,
Oh,
yes, you
yeah.
should.
That's a
What?
huge story.
Are you
Is
kidding
that
me?
wait? Is that where he goes back in time with the yellow flash and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's a big story. That if
Yeah,
not
that
the
launched the new
story.
52.
Ooh, what an accomplishment!
Yeah,
It
true.
launched the new
I'm not
52.
saying it was a great ending to the story, but it was definitely a great story, though.
Well,
I
if it had
love
the
it. I
top
love
in it, it had to be great.
it. It
So
did,
that's
and it
good.
was.
All right. Well, let's just get right into this. Those are the main villains here, and then there's another mysterious guy called the Dude. But we don't
Yeah.
want the Dude abides. But we don't want to get too far into the Big Lebowski of all this. So, Kev, why don't you describe this cover for us? It's drawn by Nick Cardy. is the artist.
Oh, Nick Cardi B.
Yes.
So it's got a little circle up there that says the line of DC superstars. And then right below it, you got a little circle with the Flash. He's running as per usual, and it says the Flash, so you know you're not confused. You're not like, oh, that's Green Lantern. No, no, that's the Flash.
That's the Flash.
And it says solo starring in this issue, Green Lantern, and then the Flash, and just kind of normal looking letters. They didn't really try too hard on that
Well,
logo.
they put some speed lines on it. Some
I guess so.
little speed lines coming off the white.
Also,
I would
you
want
did forget
something
to
more
mention that the
lightning-y.
Green Lantern's also running, so we're all
Oh
confused.
yeah.
That's the Flash's gimmick. You can't run.
He's just showing how much better he is because he can run while holding a lantern.
But
Flash
Yeah.
can't hold nothing.
but the Flash letters, they're red outlined in white, and they're tilted to the right to imply movement there, Kev.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
notice that the F and then the LASH, they all get bigger as they go. So again, to imply movement. I think you're short selling this logo. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not that
flashy.
bad, but it could be better. I could be prouder.
Oh, it's also
Mhm.
1975, so you know there's still a long way to go here in the world of America. So this is pretty
Yep.
good stuff for 1975.
But it does promise the very best 25 cents. So
Yeah, best 25 cents.
So that kind of takes up the top like third of the page just against like a blue, dark blue background. And then the actual cover itself is kind of the bottom 2/3 of the page there. And you got the 5 villains there. They're all having a little convention there because you could tell because they made a banner for it that
They
says
made a
Convention
banner.
of Flash's Villains. Somebody went to Kinko's that day. And so then there's a off-screen kind of villain here. He's got a yellow gloved hand. He's holding a cane, and it's got like a pointy, knife at the end of it. And he is pointing at this, picture of the Flash that they had printed up for this meeting as well. I guess they're gonna play pin the tail on the Flash at some point. But
No, they're all pointing out who the target is.
oh yeah, that's why we're here. I thought this was an AA meeting. But he's saying, Pied Piper, Weather Wizard, Mirror Master, Heatwave, Top, you are all losers. I am the only crook in the world Flash can never catch. And so that picture of the Flash, he's all cut it up and he's got a big X on it. Like he's
X
the
for the
X-Men
dude.
version of Zorro.
It is something there. And the poster of the Flash is not even on the wall. It's like in a little stand-up frame with legs, and it's propped up. It's like they really
Much like your Oscar cutout.
yes. They did I treat
Bob
that
Ross
much nicer than I do treat this Flash thing. But yeah, they put in a lot of work at this convention. So
Yeah.
And
pretty
this cover.
impressive. Nah. You a big
You
fan
think
of the
they
cover
just
there,
like
Pete?
What's that?
You a fan of the cover, Pete? Do you think it's
No, this looks like it's just panels from the comic that we're about to read.
Yep.
They didn't even try. They're like, this issue's going to be a weird one. Let's just stop trying.
Kev, did you read the dialogue on the cover?
Yep.
I missed it entirely. I wasn't paying attention.
It's all right. Wait until the Green Lantern part of this. I missed the whole beginning entirely, and I was reading.
So, all right, we open it up and we get a splash page. And again, DC, what they like to do in this era was they would give you a splash page like not connected to the next page. But it summarizes like the whole point of the story, basically. It says, here's what we're going to do in this issue. And
I guess they're trying to get you hooked, even though you've already presumably bought the book.
yeah. So,
My
Kev, why
next
don't
page is
you?
guns.
Oh, yes, there's an advertisement for Daisy BB guns. And pretty good.
That's
the
a summary
splash
of this
page-
issue as well.
Yeah, I wish. So,
Which is the safe way to carry a BB gun.
Pete, would you like to describe the events of this splash page?
Yeah, well, we got a very charming looking man in orange and a beautiful handlebar mustache. I don't know if it's handlebar, but it's definitely glorious. This
Yeah.
man looks like he's got money, but money in the 1800s.
Yes.
Now, he's standing on top of the
Kind of got the
Flash.
Lemmy from Motorhead going a little bit.
Yeah,
Where it's like
minus
the mustache
mole.
goes into the sideburns.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you've got the Rogue standing there looking at this beautiful, handsome, fancy man in awe almost. Like, well, who's this guy? What's he doing? What's his story? What's this guy all about? Kind of thing going on because this man is standing on top of it. What looks to be maybe a tired Flash. He's
Or a
sleeping.
dead
Maybe,
Flash.
well, maybe we're not sure. That he would be very quick. Spoilers, but yeah, yeah. I mean, they're in awe. It's glorious. Uh,
Yeah, this
the,
guy, he defeated Flash. I think we
he's
would
the only
describe him
crook
as a
Flash could never
dandy.
catch. Oh, there it is. That is what it is.
This
The
guy's a
dandy.
dandy.
Yep, that was the
Oh
word I was
Yeah.
looking for.
And because his suit is like orange, and he's wearing like a
Mhm.
blue vest with a pattern, a yellow tie, a pink
And a bull
shirt,
hat.
and yeah, a bowler hat, and then a little like pink carnation too on his. Yeah, this guy is a dandy, and he's walking with a cane. Uh, Now, Jank,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kev, when you first saw this issue, you told me this looks like there's a villain. He's kind of like Turner D Century,
Yeah.
and
He's definitely
yeah,
giving off those kind of vibes. And I was like, oh, yeah, this will be good.
yeah, I was pretty excited. Did you ever hear of Turner D Century, Pete?
I have not.
He's a Marvel villain,
No,
and
that's why.
yeah, but he was like he just loved the 1800s so much. Like his whole gimmick was based on the 1800s, and
Sounds like Aaron Burr, but in 1700s.
yes.
He's like the original steampunk cosplayer.
So the story here is by Cary Bates. We've talked about him many times, and the art is
Sure.
by Herb Novik. I think we have talked about him briefly before, and I'm just going to say we have because I didn't do any research on him at all.
Good,
So
good.
yeah,
All right.
there you go. I figured we have a Flash expert here in Pete. I didn't have to do much research this time.
Ah, oh, you were wrong.
I really didn't do much at all. I have so many questions about Aaron Burr, Pete. Hopefully you're ready when we get to
Uh,
this.
Born ready. I do want to point out that in this little on this page, you get to see a couple of the weapons that the rogues are holding, and I
Yeah.
love that the top is just holding what can only be described as the tool that removes boogers from a baby's nose. Uh,
That is very
It's
true.
so
Yeah, it does
true.
look like that. Yeah.
Yep.
and then Mirror Master just has a makeup mirror.
Yes. That's why
Gotta
he's
look
so
his best when you
deadly.
take down the Flash.
So we turn it over here to the next page, and we see, is that Mirror Master with a bazooka? And he's shooting it at a mirrored version of the Flash, and he
Yes.
shatters it into a million pieces. I don't know if you need a bazooka. You could do a rock and do the same thing. But
Well,
but if
remember, he's kind of doing that same thing that remember was in that one Andy Sedaris movie where
yes, that was so
he's
great.
firing a bazooka from like 4 feet away from somebody. Like, that's not a good idea.
It was Eric Estrada, and then our girl Donna Spear popped out of the floor with the
Your
bazooka.
girl.
Shot him with it. It's amazing. Now who's this next guy? Is this the weather wizard? He throws.
No, no, that's the top.
Oh, that's the top.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
And
You can tell by that sweet outfit he's got.
that's right. He says, "I'm not going to tangle with you, Flash, till I'm good and ready." So he throws like a top at him, I guess, and it goes
Oh yes.
Yeah.
kaboom. And he's like, "But now that I've blasted you into a feeble old man, I'm good and ready." So he has the power to make people age 60 years.
It's his
Yeah,
tops. I'm telling you, he's got the weirdest tops.
That's amazing that he can do that.
I know. This guy should
Uh,
just be making like, electronics. I feel like he had a much better career.
If I threw a top at my dad, it would turn him back into a young child again. Oh, I remember these.
so then we have
I
the
used to
weather
get my
wizard.
boogers out with this.
And we have the weather wizard, and he just says, "When the weather wizard blows up a storm flash, it's the kind nobody walks away from." It's just raining on him, and
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
he's
But he's
melting from
melting.
more
It
rain.
would have to
Yeah.
be pouring very, very hard for a long amount of time, and the Flash is not going to stand still long enough for that. So this one kind of falls apart.
So we turn the page, and now we see that this is all just a stage play. They're performing little acts of to recreate some of their favorite encounters with the Flash, but they change the endings to make them victorious. And
Oh
Yep.
yes.
But yeah, these rogues guys, they get together once a year to have this anti-Flash convention, and they put on little plays and little skits, and they all support each other. It's kind of nice to see, actually,
It is.
they're
Yeah, they're
supporting each
very
other.
a lot of camaraderie.
Why don't they
Kind
team
of.
up and create like a Sinister Six situation here, and like all teamwork
Oh, they
together to get
do.
the Flash? Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But apparently
But
some
yeah,
people are in jail right now, so it's pretty small turnout this year. I think they said there's like 15 or something.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a
I
lot.
was
There's
gonna,
a ton of rogues.
Yeah.
I love them all.
and so they're they're just sitting around, shooting the shit about Flash and all the times he's defeated them, and they're going to give out an award though, Pete. Every year, I love that they're holding this convention at like an abandoned paper mill.
Yeah.
That's also you don't need to rent a convention hall. Let's just go to their abandoned paper mill.
Yep.
I think the Oscars will be there next year. Abandoned paper mill. But
Talking about talking about all them all those good times and stuff like that at the convention. I mean, where else are you gonna do it? You gotta do it at an old paper mill if you're just a bunch of bad guys. And it's gotta be run down and it's gotta be in
Yeah.
themes.
It's got to be a risk for tetanus. Otherwise, why are we even doing this?
Mm-hmm.
uh, what do they say? They say, too bad we have such a lousy turnout this year. Trickster and Captain Boomerang sent regrets. They're doing time. And then the
Poor
top
Uncle
says,
Bubble.
oh, Uncle Bubble, yeah. And then the top says the 7 other rogues are just no-shows. They just don't even want to bother. They're like, no, we're not hanging out with you losers anymore. And they say, well, hopefully we'll get a better turnout next year. And now we cut over to earlier that day in Central City as
Yeah,
police
this little
scientist
sexy little scene.
Oh yeah.
Barry Allen whipped
Fair
up
to be
lunch
tip.
for his wife Iris. Well, Pete, why don't you describe this sexy little scene for us?
Oh, well, I mean, it's very simple, but it turns a little dirty towards the end. But basically, we've got Iris and we got our friend Barry Allen. They're preparing themselves some dinner for this evening before I believe a big show. But before we get to that, Barry's talking about how he knows that there's a convention going on, and he's in the midst of making this salad and making sure that everything's all prepared and ready. And they're he's talking about the rogue convention and how he needs to go stop all that, but needs to be in time for the theater, so he's just rushing. I mean, he's the Flash. He's got to do a lot of rushing, going back and forth, chopping carrots like a madman. Throwing. Well, I'm sorry, tossing his salad. Uh, Tosses it right to Iris, and let me just read this little thing. Here's your favorite tossed
Yeah.
salad, and uh, he says, "I love Flash." Now that's what I'm going to start saying in certain moments of my nights. But she says, "Well, oh Barry, nobody can toss a salad like you. You're too much,
Yes.
Barry."
Now, we're a bit older, so maybe the younger audience isn't aware of this, or I don't know. But Kev, would you like to explain the origins of tossed salads? Maybe would you like to do that, or?
I don't want you to
The
do that.
origins? I don't know what the
Well, it
origin
became
of.
all right. Maybe
Oh,
you don't
Aaron
remember the
Burr.
I
origins.
think it's a
No,
prison term, but
yes, yes. It became popular in. I just looked this up. 1996. There was a TV documentary, "Prisoners of the War on Drugs," as part of HBO's America Undercover series. And I remember when this came out, and the big takeaway from this was that when you're in prison, when one guy really loves another guy, they perform a special act for that guy.
No.
And if I
uh-huh.
can, yeah. And
Tell me more.
basically, well, according to the AI on the
I
internet
believe
says,
you asked the owl how many licks does it take to get to the center.
the interviewee, often referred to as Toss Salad Man, describes the act using slang for analingus. So there you go.
Mm.
When one man really loves another, he tosses his salad,
Oh,
and
that's kind of sweet.
it became very popular when
Yeah, it
that came
did.
out. Yeah,
Yep,
because if you
those jokes
remember,
were everywhere.
at that same time, Frasier was a popular show on TV. And his closing theme song was Kelsey Grammer singing a song about tossed salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling
Yeah.
again. Tossed
It took on a
salads and
whole new meaning.
scrambled eggs.
Oh
Yes.
God.
So yeah, it was crazy. But anyway, so there you go. There's your history lesson. That's the important history. We'll get to the Aaron Burr stuff later. But the origins of the tossed salad phrase, that's the really
Yeah.
historical thing we
We got
we deal
another
with.
strong candidate for best quote.
Oh, I think that wins. I think that's gonna win.
I don't
I sure
know.
hope
We'll
so.
have to talk to the Academy.
Nobody can toss a salad like you, Barry. You're too much. Yeah,
Well, if the
she
Academy doesn't approve of it, and then you could toss their salad and try to sway them.
it's gonna be something. All right, Kev. So we cut back to the Rogues Gallery convention. Oh well, Barry was saying basically that he knows there's a convention going on of Flash's villains, and she's a little and like he says they're deadly, but he doesn't seem too concerned about it. Like he's like, I'll meet you at the theater later. Don't worry, I'm gonna go catch these 5 guys who are deadly, but I'll meet you at the theater later on tonight. All right. And she's like, all right, Barry. So Barry knows about this convention, and so now we cut back to the paper mail there, Kev, and what's going on in the convention.
Well, all their weapons are on the table, and they're kind of going over the
Oh,
rules for this whole
look!
event.
Look what else is on that table, though.
Yeah, a bust of a monkey.
Gorilla Garage. Yeah, he's got his own little. I would love to have that. Yeah.
So yeah, they're kind of going over the rules, and they're like, okay, we each get to a chance to display our latest anti-flash weapons for the others to judge, and whoever wins gets a prize. And since Mirror Master like won last year, it's on him to get the prize this year. He's like, oh, I already did. I got this, giant ass diamond, and he's like, yep, whoever gets it, whoever wins gets the diamond. Although he calls it a sparkler, which would be a lot less cool. I got a big sparkler for you. It'll
70s,
burn
those
for
were the
at
cool
least a
things called
minute and a
diamonds.
half.
Well, that was actually a prison slang for something else back in 1975. It's got a
Ah,
big
yes.
sparkler
The
for
old
you.
golden sparkler.
That's.
Yeah.
I don't want to
So,
talk about that though.
but then who shows up, Kev?
The
Kev.
Gone.
dude.
The dude, yes.
Had to think about
It's the dude. The guy we described earlier. And because Heatwave says, who the blazes is that dude? And he says, like you
it.
said, sir, my name is the dude, and I am the one and only rogue who's ever triumphed over the Flash. So many times I've lost count. All right, let me just stop you here. We're like 5 pages into this book, maybe 6 pages. I can't read that number. And at this point in time, this book was a 10 out of 10. This was
Yep.
amazing.
Agreed.
I was having so much fun reading this book. And then it's all downhill from here. But at this point, it was so good. So good.
I do like that this guy clearly puts so little thought into his name. They're like, well, they're calling me the dude. I'll just be the dude. I had nothing else. So
I really wish his name was now the Dandy.
Who's that dandy? That's right. I'm the dandy. So they start talking to this fella, trying to see who he is and whatnot. And he says, yeah, I've beaten the Flash so many times. And he pulls out these 8x10s, these glossy 8x10s. Look, I have defeated the Flash. Here I am standing on him. Here he is tripping and falling in front of me. And they're like, oh, these pictures could be fake.
Here's some of me with my tarp off. I look pretty good, don't I?
How did those get in there?
They're tasteful.
So they're like, yeah, these could be fake photos. How do we know you're telling us the truth? And Mirror Master says, I'll believe this dude is unbeatable when I see him win out against the Flash with my own eyes. Fair enough, Mirror Master. I'm perfectly willing to let you watch me score. I can't read. Score another brilliant victory over the Flash if you make it worth my while, like that prize gem you stashed away. Do you think he stashed it in his prison wallet as well?
Mm-hmm. That's why he had to toss the salad.
That's exactly right. So Pete, now at this point, I think we all know who the dude is, though, right? Like, is it? It's pretty clear.
Well,
The
yeah.
dude is,
Yeah. I mean, I picked up on this. Well, I mean, clearly after this next page, because I was like, okay, well, obviously, but then it's like, All right, well, we'll just get into it. So the dude is the Flash, everybody. I'm so sorry to break it to you. However, for some reason, I did not realize. So what ends up happening here is the dude then puts on this display. He says he's got this stick. He's got a little cane, rather. I'm sorry, with a little, you know, with this sweet outfit. But he can use his ultra vibrations with this cane to somehow summon the Flash. The Flash shows up, and he just starts, doing the old throwdown on the Flash. Just really just
Razzmatazz.
pulling out all the stops, doing all the crazy stuff. But I didn't realize the Flash had this power where he can apparently clone himself or move so quick that it seems like he's cloned himself. Not only is he moving so quick that there's two of them, he's moving so
Yes.
quick that he's got two different outfits on. So he can
Yes.
change.
Yes. So we don't get the explanation here. We get it at the end, but yeah, we see him doing all his razzmatazz, like you were saying, beating the Flash. But apparently, what's happening here, what we're witnessing, is the Flash running so fast that each millisecond he's changing his clothes back and forth to be two guys at once.
That is just insanity.
Yes.
I do not buy that for a second.
No, it's impossible.
I thought for sure, like, oh, he's got
Hold on a
Wally
second.
dressing up like the Flash or something like that, or just some dude
Yeah.
even. Like, he's got to be somebody filling in.
You can
Nope.
buy Superman flying, but you can't buy the fact that the
Yes,
Flash is
I
just
can
really
buy-
quick.
I can buy the Flash that can run really fast, but he can't run this fast. That's ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing.
I
Here's the
would
thing. He's doing it right here, guys. He's doing it right here.
He's proved it. He's proved it. He
Yep.
can do it right here. He's proven it.
It's right here in ink. I would have bought I would have bought more that he like ran back in time like 5 minutes so that there were two of him.
Yeah,
Well, that's just silly.
anything other than this, or like his Mirror Master seeing this and like as like a flip book, where it's all herky jerky, like they're not moving, like there's kind of like a
Yeah.
little, between frames, there's a little delay or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's crazy that even like a shutter of a camera can't, tell the difference of, oh, they're both there. In that millisecond it took for the camera.
Oh, it's so
go off.
ridiculous. Listen, I like terrible things, but this might be pushing it.
Yeah,
this might be-
strains credulity a little bit.
So anyway, Mirror Master sees him defeat the Flash, and he goes back and he tells all his other rogue buddies, he's like, yeah, he did it all right. And so Mirror Master says, I'm gonna give that diamond. You're gonna win, dude. You win the prize. How come the other guys didn't go to watch this either? Like,
Because only Mirror Master is the one who didn't believe him.
so like, what else have they got to do?
The convention, of course.
Like,
Yeah. They got
more plays
pretzels,
to put
man.
on.
That's when the girls arrived. All the girls got here now. But yeah, it's just the four of them sitting around looking at each other while Mirror Master's out in the desert, getting hoodwinked.
One of them had Pokemon cards.
So they say, so Mirror Master says, "Hey, look, what looks to you like a ray gun is actually the famous pink Puma diamond, or if you're Donald Pleasance, the pink Puma diamond."
I just don't know where he pulled that out of. That gun is far too small for that sparkler to be inside.
Yeah.
It's all an illusion.
Yeah, it's an illusion, Michael. The terrific, you mirror camouflaged it among your display weapons. Mirror camouflaged it, Pete. Problem solved. No further explanation.
So what a whore does for money.
Mirror Master says, and so, dude, it's our pleasure to give you, huh? Where'd he go? And now, this is also
Yeah,
my
that should be a
favorite part.
tip off right there.
What does the Flash do to all the rogues here, Kev?
So he. Wait, where are we at this point?
Well, he runs
The part where
through
he
them all.
undresses them all.
Yes, he undresses them all.
Oh yeah, he's got to
He
toss
needs
his
more
salad.
clothes for more of his cloning later.
There does seem to be a theme running through this book with the toss salads and the disrobing of men. Yeah.
He's a flashy pink.
Yeah, he strips them all down to their underpants. And
It makes
for
them do the
whatever
human
reason.
centipede.
Yes, I don't understand why that was necessary, but yeah, I guess it was necessary.
Right, you can stop at the weapons. You don't got to take their pants.
Yes.
You
And
can take
then,
our weapons, but why our pride?
but then, no, Mirror Master, he left him fully clothed for some reason, and Mirror Master still has his gun and the diamond, and he's about to shoot Flash with the gun, and Flash grabs a boot, one of Heatwave's boots,
Yeah,
and
because
just
it's
throws
lined
it
with
on.
asbestos, so
Yeah.
you know.
He throws it on top of Mirror Master's gun, and yeah, he's just can't. Well, there's a boot on my hand now. I'm stuck. I can't do anything. And so then Flash runs really fast and punches him, which he could have done at any point in all of this.
Yeah, if he wasn't so busy stripping people.
I
Yeah.
think
But
you can
apparently, he can
run
take his own clothes off and put new clothes on, and faster than the eye can blink. How could he take so
a
long
thousand
stripping all
different
these
times.
guys?
Yeah, a thousand times.
They're
But
unwilling, Kevin.
don't you
They're
think he can
unwilling.
run
That's true.
faster than he can throw a boot as well? Like, why not just why even bother throwing the boot? Just
His
run.
arms aren't. His arms are weak.
So the Flash takes them all down to prison and drops them off, and then we see the theater. Iris is waiting there; her seat's empty next to her, and the dude comes in the dude outfit. He's like, "Is this seat taken, madam?" And she says, "Be my guest. After all, you paid for the tickets." So she's having an affair
Uh,
with the dude. Oh my goodness!
yeah.
And
Oh my god.
but he takes the mustache and the wig off. And he's like, "I kept my promise, Iris. The curtain's just going up. Yes, on the second act, but that's the man I've come to know and love, the always late Barry Allen." Wah,
And
wah.
then finally she says, "Can't wait to eat healthy later." Wink.
Yes. Make sure you keep the dude costume on, okay? It's the dude later. So there it is, the Flash. What a tale this was, Kev. Man, how disappointed were you when you realized, oh, the dude's just a Flash? I wanted the dude to be a guy, like a whole, like a real
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, I was hoping, but no, honestly, this was stupider, so that kind of made it better in my eyes. It's like, what's the
That's pretty
dumbest
bad.
thing we could do here? And they did it.
Yeah, this is something, all right. Pete, what do you think? Any thoughts on the overall story here?
I mean, I'm always happy to see the rogues, but yeah, this is pretty dumb. And then I was like, God, I hope at least the Green Lantern one's good.
Yeah,
And it
I,
was.
I got some bad news for you. But do you have like who are your favorite rogues from the overall gallery? Not this issue, but just in general.
Oh, Trickster's pretty cool, but I think my favorite one's probably Murmur, but I want to say he's one of the newer ones.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
was gonna say I have no
I
idea
don't
who
know
that
what he
is.
does.
Yeah,
Oh,
Murmur.
Murmur's awesome. I got a little synopsis on him. A surgeon who went insane, Michael Christian Amar, now seeks sadistic ways to kill the voices he hears. His distinctive
Holy
criminal
cow!
act is to remove a victim's tongue early during the
Oh my
torture he
God!
inflicts. He also has a virus called Frenzy that will turn a person's lungs into mud in 90 minutes.
What
90
the
minutes.
But he's pretty great because so he can't stop the voices that are in his head, and he thought the best way to do that was to sew his mouth shut.
Ooh.
His mouth isn't the thing that's even putting the voices in his head, but he did it
Yeah.
anyways. He's just
How does
crazy.
he? How does he eat?
No, he doesn't. Well, he just sips the mud lungs, I guess.
He just butt chugs.
Yeah.
But man, these rogues have really evolved from the top to a guy who
Yeah,
rips
the
your
Pied
tongue out
Piper to this
and
guy.
turns your lungs into mud.
I think he just goes to the movies and like does it to everyone in the audience. Like, I need 90 minutes. We got to be here
What,
for a while.
what do you think it was like the first time he showed up at that convention and they're all sitting around Weather Wizard and the Heat Wave and the top, and then this guy comes in with his mouth sewn shut and he's holding a bunch of tongues and like, oh my God.
That's the prize for next year's convention.
It's basically no country for old men, but in the Flash world, they're like, yeah, I don't get any of this anymore. I'm out. I don't understand this country at all anymore. So, wow.
I like that. He
Yeah,
sounds
Murmur's
cool.
great.
Holy
Mirror
cow.
Master is up there for sure. I really like him.
Is
I
Ragdoll part of the
also.
Rogues?
Oh, who's that, Jank?
I don't know.
Ragdoll?
Uh,
Ragdoll. Okay, Ragdoll. Yeah.
is Ragdoll a rogue?
I don't
He
know.
he seemed to fight the old Flash from Earth 2. That guy Ragdoll. I remember
Mm.
we did a Justice League issue where Earth 2's Flash, the guy with the helmet, he was fighting Ragdoll. But
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Ragdoll's actually a rogue though.
They
I
let the
think
guy with no tongue in, but
they've
Ragdoll,
got to
no,
draw
no,
the
no.
line
he's got
somewhere.
all the
Yeah.
tongues.
Uh,
They should call him the French kisser.
I think he's
so all right.
just a baddie.
Well, what I also liked is Pete had that description of Murmur like real hand. It was like in a holster, ready to
Yeah.
go. He was.
well,
Let me tell you about Murmur. Bang, he had it ready.
I was looking
Um,
at you had asked me about who was it? Oh, Roy G.
Roy
Whatever.
G. Piccolo.
So I
Reggie
Yeah.
pulled up
Bigelow.
the Wikipedia thing, and it had a list of all the rogues, and I was like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
going through the list. I was like, oh yeah, there's all these guys, and then I knew that Murmur was my favorite. He's always been great. He's also looks cool as hell,
Yeah,
but
like
yeah, those
you're
are here.
is Gorilla Grodd, is he officially part of the Rogues or is he his own thing? Because he's like Gorilla Grodd and he's awesome.
Kind of both. I want to say that he's like in the earlier issues, he was probably a rogue. Or I think he was part of the Rogues, but then I think he just became like as I feel like the Flash comic or storylines evolved, he just became more and more of his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem
So
like he plays well with others.
no, he's
He
Yeah.
Gorilla.
just wants to create a gorilla Earth, and they're like, wait a minute,
But
we're not gorillas.
that's why at their convention they have a bust of him on the table because they all aspire to be like Gorilla Grodd. They're all like, that's the guy. That's the
Most
guy.
likely.
Yeah. So all right, we'll come back for we'll give an overall rating for the issue because we can't do that until we read this backstory or
Yeah,
the backup story, I
it's
should
about to get even better.
say. So Kev, why don't you set the stage for us here?
So we get into kind of another splash page here of Green Lantern getting kind of a back from behind bear hug
Oh,
by.
oh wait, we kind of jumped the gun there because the story doesn't end at that at them in the theater. There's actually is a page of Barry explaining how he defeated everybody and how he kept changing his clothes, like we said, which is
Yeah,
completely absurd.
Yeah, we didn't need to.
I think we all got it by that point.
This page. This page was unnecessary. Let's
Hey,
get into
then
vignettes.
but when he's walking out, he says, "And as for the dude, he's been retired. That is at least until next year's convention, or until later tonight." Wink, wink.
Oh,
More salad tossing.
the
All right,
stranger.
all right. So, Kevin, yeah, this next story is by Denny O'Neil, art by Dick Dillon. Take it away.
Okay, so yeah, the Green Lantern is being strangled kind of by a big yellow guy with like a dopey haircut, and
Yes.
there's a man in old-timey clothing who we'll soon come to find out is Aaron Burr. Yes, that
Yes.
Aaron Burr, or as they like to call him here, the
Murderer,
Man of Destiny.
the man who killed Hamilton and gave us a dopey musical. Thanks a lot,
Call
buddy.
me Aaron Burr. By the way, I'm dropping Hamiltons.
So, so
Getting
I
over
don't
my
know.
head.
Yeah, how do we get into this story? I don't know. Green Lantern is like only hours ago, Green Lantern gave chase to rocket-powered robots disguised as colonial attendants at an American history exhibit and caught them at a huge orbiting spacecraft. Inside, he found a man who startled him with the claim, "At your service, Aaron Burr is yours to command." Holy cow. Find a command. What would you do, Pete, if you had complete control over Aaron Burr?
I'd be like, "Who are you? What are you doing?"
I got some salad needs tossing, Aaron Burr.
So, I'm getting that Pete may not be a historian. Do you know a
I
lot about
love
him?
I love a lot of different history. I would say not a big history buff when it comes to I guess our vice presidents of the past, of the deep
Yeah,
past.
Because while he
more of an
was vice president,
1880s vice president guy.
he did murder a fella while he was
Yeah.
vice president, which is really something special.
No, I get all
The-
that. I'm picking up the context clues that you guys have been laying
Yeah.
down. But I'm just saying,
So
Well,
I do
how,
like
how
that
am I
they.
supposed to know who this is?
The point of this story is basically he was picked because he's going to be the one to save the universe because their races are at war. We need a man of great peace to come and talk some sense into us. Even though the one thing he's known for is like getting in a fight with another guy that he then had to duel at dawn basically and shot a guy, and
Yeah,
then
and it
got
was
kicked
it
out
was
of the
just
country
because
eventually.
it's basically just because Hamilton made a comment to somebody, and it wasn't even a terrible thing. Like you said,
It's like that guy's
he's like
ass
a
looks fat.
dangerous man. He's a dangerous fella. He's like poison to democracy or something like that. I don't know, but it's all hearsay. So then he started trading letters back and forth with Hamilton, demanding an apology. And Hamilton said, "I'm not going to apologize to you for anything." And he said, "Oh yeah, I challenge you to a duel." So they went and had a duel, and they actually had it on the same grounds where just 4 years earlier, I believe, Hamilton's oldest son was murdered in a duel. So how about
Ooh,
that? Father and son
holy hell!
both gunned down in duels at the
I would
same place.
move far away. What are those southern
So,
colonies like?
and of course, like at the, there were laws against dueling. It was prohibited, you can't be dueling, we're a civilized society.
This isn't
But
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it was really tough laws against it in New York. So they went down to New Jersey. They were slightly more lenient on duels.
The mafia
And
was already ruling New Jersey, apparently.
and by all accounts, Hamilton told people he was just going to shoot in the air. He wasn't really going to shoot and try to kill Burr. But Burr did not get that memo. And
No.
and Burr shot him like above the hip and the abdomen, and it pierced his liver and spine. And then Hamilton died a few days later. So Burr, being the upstanding vice president that he clearly he stood by his action. No, he actually fled to South Carolina. That's what he did. He fled to South Carolina, and then he finished out his term as vice president. No one did anything. He was
This whole
never
story
charged or
it
convicted.
was so much better than what we've read. I wish they just put the story of Aaron Burr in here. The whole time I'm like,
Yes.
who the hell is this guy?
And then he was kicked out of the United States, right, Kev? They said because of not for
Yeah.
that though, but for like
No, something else.
Andrew Jackson thought he was trying to like pull some shenanigans and like get some states together to secede and start his own little thing. And so yeah, he's not exactly the guy space aliens should want to be abducting to help them
No.
through their troubled times.
Seems like a troublemaker of the greatest order.
Yeah,
They
that's
just shipped him
basically
out into space.
but that's basically the idea here. An alien race that look like I don't know what do they look like birds or something. They look a little weird, googly-eyed birds. They look strange.
Goblins.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so they abduct Aaron Burr because they need a leader to lead them through this troubled time, and they give Aaron Burr his own spaceship, and he's just flying around the cosmos trying to be a peacemaker to alien races. I guess I don't know.
And if
And
anyone resists, he just challenges them to a duel
and
to
shoots him
shoot
in the
his way to
liver.
victory.
But he stole that exhibit or he borrowed that exhibit or whatever because he was getting homesick. So he wanted to have that. He
Yeah, we
invites.
should mention that apparently what happened was he was like, well, I got that duel at dawn. I can't be up here with you aliens. And they're like, don't worry, we got a plan for that. We're gonna clone you, send that clone down to finish that whole duel thing, and live out the rest of your life there on Earth. But you'll just live forever up here in space. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
Do you, yeah, so
Yeah.
actually a clone is the one that gunned down Hamilton.
That is
But
true.
but do you think Denny O'Neill's under the impression that Aaron Burr lost the duel and that he died? And like
That sounds like it wasn't him who actually dueled, is what I think he got the impression of. They couldn't have been my Aaron Burr. My sweet, sweet child Aaron Burr. No way. That had to have been a clone. Aliens.
My
Wouldn't
baby
it-
Burr.
immediately.
I just want to
Wouldn't
chew
it
up
have been
worms and
better-
spit them in his mouth.
it would have been better to like make Hamilton the guy up in space, like he's still alive out there somewhere, and like he wasn't gunned
Yeah.
down in a duel. That was a clone, and now Hamilton.
No, Aaron Burr must be the one abducted.
He got railroaded. He's innocent, even though he shot a
It was
man in
his
front of
clone,
everyone.
damn it! It was his clone.
Yeah, that wasn't
So-
him. You're getting him confused.
Look, I
with
was
the
going to
real
show
Aaron
up
Burr.
to the duel with a box of chocolates and be like, let's all just, take this down a notch. I'm sorry.
But
That
no.
clone. Oh boy.
So now Aaron Burr is out in space, like the Silver Surfer of DC Comics. And he
Yeah.
invites Green Lantern to a real fancy dinner. And they're sitting down having dinner, like an 8-course meal. But he has his own butler. And it's this guy. What's his name, Pete? You
Oh,
know
his
his
name is
name.
Ignatz.
Yeah.
Ignatz.
That's totally a normal
Ignatz.
name.
He's a mute butler, you know.
He's a mute butler, and he's a real weird looking dude. He's wearing like pants and boots, no
Tiny
shirt,
boots. His tiny feet.
no shirt. But he's a big hulking guy, and he has
Yeah.
no shirt on, and his skin is like multicolored, like I don't know, an acid trip or something. It's all
Oh,
crazy,
burn scars.
Yeah.
and
Like some drippy paints.
he's got like pointy ears a little bit, and he's got a crazy haircut.
And he's a robot. I
And
don't know if we mentioned that. He's an
yeah, he's a
android.
robot. He's an android, and he's his
AI.
android butler, Ignatz. So,
I want to
oh my
name
goodness.
butler. Ignatz might be the greatest name ever.
It's pretty good.
That's the best part of this whole issue right here. Is just his name, Ignatz.
Uh, so there you go.
You're
So
welcome, everyone.
he's talking about his aliens and whatnot, and how they abducted him and everything, and the clone and all that. And they're still having their dinner, but right in the middle of dinner, Pete, what does your buddy Ignatz do?
The unexpected after all this time. He double crossed Aaron Burr. Why? For what reason? None of this made any sense. I don't understand how all of this happened and why it happened. I read it twice and I'm like, did I miss something? What did it? Oh, it was the spies. What spies? What spies? Who's spying? Was it Hamilton?
Yes.
Is that why I didn't understand? Because I didn't know who Aaron Burr was?
I never saw the stupid musical.
Was it the slavery problem that he mentions? I don't understand.
Yeah,
More food,
and the issue,
Ignatz.
and when he's given his explanation of the duel, he also says it was after he was vice president. He got in a duel with Hamilton, but no, he was still vice president when it happened.
Wink.
No,
Yeah,
there was no
so
Wikipedia, so Danny
it
O'Neill's
was,
just kind of going off memory, I guess.
yeah, that's what he remembered from his fourth grade social studies class.
Such a long time
But
ago. He doesn't remember.
but Ignatz doesn't care much for history either because he's choking him out, and he's just going to murder Aaron Burr
I do
right in
like that
front
he
of.
grabs him by the head. Just like it's
Yes.
not even like by the neck. It's just like he's got the sides of his head and just rips him out of that chair. His feet are now above the table. It's incredible. Ignatz is so strong.
So that's a Green
Ignatz
Lantern.
might be my new favorite DC character of all time.
Ignatz. So Ignatz is choking him out, and then Green Lantern tries to save him there, Kev. But what happens?
Well, Ignatz starts turning yellow. And yeah, so Green Lantern's like, oh
Literally.
shit, I got
Yeah.
nothing now. He's got yellow skin now. I can't do anything. Even
who
though
was
there's
that
tons of stuff
guy?
around it could throw at him, I'm sure.
Who was that guy? The same bit. That shark guy.
Oh, Keyshawn, yeah.
What?
Whatever shark.
The shark guy, yeah. I think it was just
Dude.
called the Shark. Pete, do you know about this guy?
No.
He's got
The
like a weird,
shark?
like pink shark head.
Yeah, he's like a human body pink shark head, and he can grow
Yeah.
really big, and he's got all these powers and stuff, and like he's super powerful. And was he fighting Guy Gardner? Is that who he was fighting? in that?
Yes.
Yeah. And he like while they were fighting, he just turned his whole body yellow. So Guy Gardner couldn't do anything.
That's the way to do it. But
Yeah.
Keyshawn?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
I think that
Keyshawn.
was his name, yeah.
No, it's not spelled like Keyshawn Johnson, the old wide receiver for the Jets and Buccaneers. I think it was like K, like apostrophe SHON or something. I don't
Just
know.
like Chip from
Uh,
Lantern.
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, Chip. I wish he was in this story.
I wish Chip was in every story. I love Chip. So Ignatz turns yellow. They're still fighting. How does he defeat Ignatz? Doesn't he just shoot him out of into space?
Yeah, he just like cuts a hole
No,
into
he's
the
clever.
spaceship.
Yep. Ignatz is too heavy. So because he's got him in that sweet beer hug, he basically Green Lantern's just like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't fight against this yellow man. So he cuts a hole in the bottom, cartoon style, and he falls right through the spaceship, because of Ignat's large body mass. And now he's just floating into
And
the space.
of course, Aaron Burr also got sucked into the cold, dark space and died
Yeah.
immediately. But no, he stayed in the ship. Nothing happened.
Well,
right.
Green Lantern did say he was like, I'm gonna put a bubble around him with my Green Lantern
Oh, okay.
powers.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I missed that part. All right. Well, good on you. Good on you, Green Lantern. But he
It
didn't
was
put a
well
bubble.
after the hole.
I don't want to kill history's greatest hero, Aaron Burr.
He
It was
didn't put a
after he
bubble.
welded the hole back shut. The hole
Yeah,
the bubble
that
meant
is true.
nothing.
Yeah. As soon as that hole gets cut in the floor of that spaceship, Burr's dead. But yeah, Ignatz is floating out in space. He takes Burr back down to Earth. Or I don't know, where does he take him? He's like, oh, look, there's sweet smell of Earth air. The feeling of cool, dew wet grass. Dear heaven, how I have missed these simple things.
Sounds like
Think you
Kentucky.
rolled around in the grass for a while, like the Ed?
Everybody the Ed, yeah. And he says, "Hey, do you want to stay a while?" And he's like, "No, my destiny lies elsewhere. A destiny my pride will never allow me to cheat." Yeah, because he's a very prideful, honest man. You may
Yeah.
return me now. And he gets in his bubble and he goes flying back. Fare thee well, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And death to all Hamiltons. And then he says, goodbye and good luck. And how about that? So
And just like the good wizard or the good witch from Wizard of Oz just floats away in her little
Yep.
bubble. His little bubble, I'm sorry.
and we also
You
get
misgendered
a
Aaron Burr.
final panel here of Green Lantern charging up his ring on the battery. And Pete, would you like to recite the Green Lantern little ditty there?
Oh God, I went too many pages and now I got to go through the whole issue
Oh,
again.
okay, all right. I
Oh,
thought you had
no.
it memorized. Or
No,
maybe
you would think I
tattooed.
would, wouldn't you? Oh God, I don't know where
You're
the
gonna get it
book's at.
tattooed on your wrist, just so you have
Yeah.
it at all times.
Your
Oh, this
inner
issue's
thigh.
got the trickster in it. You're gonna have somebody else is gonna have to read it. I don't know
All
where in the
right.
thing.
Kev, would you like to do a dramatic reading of the Green Lantern ditty?
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
Oh,
Now
wow.
I'm
I brought a
Green
tear to
Lantern.
the eye. That was actually very good. Yeah.
He usually
Look at
says it
me.
better
Look
after
at me.
tossing some salad.
So there
It
you
numbs up
go.
the tongue in just the right way.
That's the Green Lantern backup story. What a tale that was. Holy hell. Like, how does
It
anyone even
was,
come up with that? Like, what is Denny O'Neil doing that he came up with that?
Yeah, that it seemed like the most offshoot weird. Like both of them really did.
yeah.
What is this amazing comic? There's a convention for the rogues. Okay, but what's in it? What's the good thing? The Green Lantern's also
Um,
here. Oh, what's he doing? Well, he's hanging out with Aaron Burr. What? Well, Aaron Burr's got a butler named
spaceship.
Ignatz. What?
And they're in space.
This is why the 70s was such a weird time for comics. They were just throwing shit at the wall.
I don't know. This is a tough issue to score for me because, like I said, the beginning of the Flash story was so great. And when the dude introduces himself, and then like by the next panel of the dude, though, okay, that's just Flash. And then it was very disappointing after that. But this Green Lantern thing is so batshit crazy that
Yeah.
I've never encountered anything like this in my existence. This is unbelievable. This is
Yeah.
I'd
so
like to
I
think
know
that canonically, Aaron Burr is still part of the DC universe, then, right?
He's got to be.
I like to think he's still out in space somewhere protecting us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for his Ignatz.
He should have been like the Black Lantern when they did that storyline.
Aaron Burr. So yeah, this was a tough one for me, Kev. How are you going to score this issue?
Man, like these were two wild stories, and for that reason, I loved it.
Yes,
Both of them
it
were
was.
terribly written, but at the same time,
Uh,
they were also the best. So I think I'm gonna give it like a solid 9, just for being
yeah,
so out there.
I hear you. I think that's where I'm leaning as well. Pete, what do you think? How would
I
you rate
think
this?
I will say this is when you talk to somebody else about this, and you get to hear their experience, and you're sharing the funny things, and you're going through it. It's got the Napoleon Dynamite effect, where it's once you start talking about it, it's so much better than what it is. Because I read it and I was like, "This is solid garbage." What did I just read?
Yes.
Who is Aaron Burr?
Yes.
I didn't even bother looking him up, so I was very confused. And then the Flash thing, I was like, "Yeah, I love the Rogues," but I'm like, "What the hell, the dude?" I was like, "Come on." But no, I'm gonna give it an 8 because I'm still not entirely sure who Aaron
Yeah.
Burr was or is. He's still out there.
But you love Ignance,
Oh,
so
I
you
love
gotta
Ignatz.
balance
That's
that
why I
out.
kicked
Yeah.
it. That was he's a solid point by himself.
Yeah,
He
The
should have
rest
I
been
of
on the
agree.
cover. Just a
yeah,
shot of
I
Ignatz.
know. Should have had Ignatz running.
Yeah, because like I said, with the first 6 pages of this is so I'm like, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. This I can see where we're going here. And then it's oh wait, this is such a letdown. But then Ignance and Aaron Burr show up. So yeah, on the scale of just a weird, bizarre comic book, yeah, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. So it's
Yeah.
It was stupid fun. On the bad comic
it,
scale, it's got to be
yeah, a
pretty high
bad
up
comic.
there.
Yes, a bad comic scale,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But on a normal comic scale, this is like a 2. But
Yeah.
on a
It's like the
bad comic
samurai
scale,
cop of
Ignatz has one
comic
point.
books.
The other point is they were able
tossed
to
salad.
finish this comic.
Yeah. So, man, this was something. Pete, you do love Green Lantern and you do love the Flash.
I do.
If you could only save one, who do you save?
Oh, the Flash.
Oh, okay, I love
Yeah,
that.
he'd save me really if you think about it.
Yeah, I could probably
What
save
about
you
the
and Green Lantern.
Flash or Ignatz?
Ignatz, 100%.
You made the right choice.
Ignance or Aaron Burr?
Still Ignatz. I don't know who Aaron Burr is.
People just don't know.
All right. But how's everything else in the world of Pete? Anything you'd like to plug? Do you have any upcoming projects or appearances?
No, I
All
can't
right.
think of anything now.
All right. Well, that's good. Will you be scouring your comic books now for the next edition that you appear on Flea Market Fantasy? Will you be?
Well, I will be scouring the comics for this issue of whatever the hell we just read. I need to have this and own it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have to see if I can find something interesting. Maybe
Have you been
Flashpoint
reading
all.
it? Have you been reading any comics at all lately?
No.
No
Yeah,
one
I
does.
don't
I hear
really
you. I
read.
hear you. Oh, that's right. You told me that before the show. I forgot.
I try to tell everybody so
So,
everybody would stop asking me if I read a book. No, I didn't read a book. I don't know how to read.
I guess sound
It's got a
pretty
shirt
well.
that just says the anti-reading rainbow.
So all right. Well, next week here on the show, Kev and I will be reading something else,
Oh man.
and I think I'm going to stall for a minute until I remember what it is that I picked.
Perfect.
That's
Well, I'll
what-
just sit here
that's what
quietly.
we like to do here on the show. Well, here's what we like to do here on the show. We like to tie things into the current trends and current events, So there's a new season of Daredevil Born Again on the Disney Plus, and it's Kev's favorite show on TV. He loves it so much.
Oh yeah.
So, and I did check. We haven't done a Daredevil. It's been exactly 1 year since we've done a Daredevil book.
That's true. Yeah, I was gonna say we probably did it last time Born Again was on. So
It's been 1 year. I checked it. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
that's plenty of time. Then we can do another Daredevil. We're gonna go issue 117 from 1974. This issue also features the Owl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've never done the Owl, who could
Sweet.
easily be in the Flash's Rogues Gallery with his gimmick. It's very similar. So, and this is when he was in San Francisco. So still,
Oh
So,
yeah.
It's an interesting time for the Daredevil. So that'll be next
Sure
week
was.
here on the big show, Daredevil 117. Well, cousin Pete, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming by.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
it was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun hanging out, talking about
it's always
Ignatz, tossing
Yeah.
salad.
And so next week it's Daredevil. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We appreciate the support. And until next week, don't get any jank on you.